Hey y'all, Random Andrew here. Welcome to another roadside cemetery video here in southwestern Ontario. This is Roadside Highway 3. You can almost say Highway 3 is like the Route 66 of southwestern Ontario. A bit of a major hub before the 400 series highways were put in. 401 would be, if you're American, it's like a major interstate, you know, but it's a highway. So today's video brings us to, as you've seen, the Ford Cemetery, established in 1823. Some older graves here. We're going to have us a look today and check out the artwork, the style of the headstones for the era, and some of the various family names amongst, like, with the years, like I already said, the years, the age. It's kind of why I'm out here doing this, even in the cold. It's an interest of mine, and I know if you're watching, it's an interest of yours as well. 1855, is it? Or is that 1888? It's kind of hard to make out. In memory of Catherine. This head almost looks like maybe an inscription. Maybe it was just the way it was made. Wilson. 1882. I do believe we're going to go off to this direction first. There's another Wilson, 1861. Maria in 1850. She's got some willow tree art on top. Interesting note. A very awesome viewer of mine mentioned how the willow tree, it's the weeping willow, the lamenting of missing loved ones. 1861, 1832, August 12th, 1832, Patterson. Buchan. That's a rather large family plot. Here's mother, father, Mary Bell, and then there's another mother over there. Over the next generation. Wow, this has got some nice art to it. I don't know if that's art or just, you know, the fonts in which it's all done and the art of how it's laid out. 1873. 1831 from Mary Buchan. So we've got a few Buchan family members in this cemetery with the Fords. Oh yeah, all the way back here even. And we start getting into more of the uniform looking. They're all kind of following the same style, but we've got some Kellys, Lee, Havens. Terry. Okay, we're gonna come up this road here. It is chilly out today, so I do gotta kind of keep an eye on battery power. We had a bit of an incident last time where the battery died almost immediately. It's kind of interesting. They've re-encased this in a mortar of sorts to keep it together. So far it's working good. Your efforts did not go in vain. This is interesting. It's a book on a pedestal, and this one is Cunningham. Oh, I could have just read that right here. 1897. 1864. For John and Anne Cunningham. And then their daughter, aged 3 months and 1 day. That's always sad to see. In 1864, it's a lot harder to make it through that early age. That's why you see so many more of them. Handshake for artwork. We've got some willows here. So there's a willow here and a willow here. Not exactly the same either. From McPhail, 1859 and 1857. There is a really fascinating thing that I have to see on the other side. I'm sure it's just another grave, but it's a different style completely. When we get over there, you'll understand what I mean. A few to look at here. Not sure if I'm going to read them all off to you guys. We've got an 1838 here for Campbell. Willow was very, very popular around here. 1866 and 1838 for Nancy Ford. Now you're going to see a lot of Ford names in here, I imagine. This one here is McIntyre. But the reason I say that, oh my goodness, what do we have here? From McPherson? Is that 1800 right there? From Scotland. This is one of the oldest graves we have seen on these roadside grave tours so far. 1800. That's pretty cool. I came out of order of which I'm going around this cemetery because I seen that date and I was like, wow, I gotta make sure I get that. It's 1903, 1871, and 1877. Would that be Silmore? C-I-L, or is that Gilmore? More than likely it's Gilmore, I just can't read it right. Oh wow, we got some nice one back here to see. A few with more intricate artwork. Seems like it just stands out more. 1877, 1851. There's another different shaped one for Gilbert. 1906. It's just nothing too fancy, it's just a different shape. Well, this is kind of interesting. We've got a bunch of small markers. There's nothing really to read on them, but they, I think, are all the foots to these ones here. McC, all across here. In this whole area. For right here. The McCall brothers. Oh, there's a McCall cemetery that we did film, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so I am returning a couple weeks later, and it's really windy. I may end up having to refilm all of this whole second part you're watching now. But we ran out of memory card space last time, and it's actually colder than it was last time. But we're here, we're gonna check this out. I started showing you guys this, I do believe, is where we left off. For the McCall brothers. Now there is a McCall cemetery further down the road in Elgin County. By the way, this Ford cemetery is in Chatham, Kent County, so it won't be getting shared in the usual group where I share these. But if you're subscribed, hey, you get to see it. Now all of these fellas' names here, and I think there's probably a couple women in there, but it says brothers, so all along right here. Oh, and I should have worn my gloves, because wow guys, it's like minus 15. James Kelly, look at the size of that, eh? Mary, his wife, so 1900 and 1903. Another Kelly here. There's a bunch of Kellys here. Let's see what we've got. 1907, 1938, 1951. 1941 and 1952 for this Kelly here. And this giant one on the end here. 1980, 1927, 1938, 1914. I'm out of the wind in this little spot right here, so it's really nice. And then Schaefer. I do think of a famous Canadian, actually she's a producer, I do believe, Helen Schaefer. Does a lot for TV nowadays and has done a lot for TVs over the years. I don't see a date on that one. It looks fairly old though. 1893 for William Wing and Catherine. 1873. Ruth Haven. 1866. Alrighty, so because it's so cold, I'm probably going to stick to more specific ones that stand out a little bit more. There's some more from McCall Wow, there's a lot of McCalls buried here. It just goes to show how far the family actually did spread down number 3 highway when you see their names in all the different cemeteries. It's James, 1850. Holy wow, I have to keep switching hands with the camera, so if the camera work changes, guys, you'll have to understand. Dugald McCall, 1870. That's a nice looking headstone right here. Not overly, not too busy, but not just blank either. Trying to make sure that I do not miss anything that has a really special look to it. And now, some of these we may have already looked at in the last video. So if there's a double, if I'm showing them twice, you'll understand. 1876. These are McDonald graves, 1875. Ooh, I can't see the battery lasting too long in here. Or out here today, I should say. We're not in anywhere. Here's a double, side by side, 1851. Maggie and Effie McKay. And there's a larger McKay. Some Forbes, Peter Forbes, 1906. And then we've got some older looking Forbes graves here. 1863. Wow. I wonder what it looked like when it was first put up. This one's been repaired, the same as that one. They've both been repaired. Can't quite see the dates on them. Okay, so I do believe we'll head back and over here. My hands are starting to freeze. Battery should be doing the same too. Jeanette Robertson, native of Athol, Perth, Shire, Scotland, wife John M. Donald. And then where the date is actually worn right off down here. Okay, I think things are going to start losing blood flow in a minute. I mean, it is cold, but I really had to stop and try and get the rest of this video filmed because I'd only made it halfway through last time. We've got Anthes. That's an interesting last name. And I finally did invest in a good pair of winter boots since the last time I was out. Needed them, something with insulation. My regular driving shoes just were not cutting it. Here's McCollum, and they've got the Mason symbol on above their name, the family name. No, nothing spooky about the Mason symbol. Not gonna hear that on this channel. I don't dive into those whole conspiracy things anymore. You see a Mason symbol, that usually means they're an individual who's part of that group in which contributed towards their community. And that is the simplest way to put it without getting all spooky. Ooh, this is an older Kelly one. It looks older, but 1936. It's just, it might have been the materials they aged a little quicker. In the spring we can come back and we can check out a lot more. Oh, this one's missing its pillar, its spire. Easy to hear, it's windy. Ooh, and I'd love to check out every single one of these for you guys, but there's one more we're gonna go to and then we have to retreat because that wind is really, really bad. Wow, you can't even see. Maybe it's on this side. Yes, it's on this side. 1860 and 1862. And then this one here. It's an interesting one. Have you ever seen something quite like that? They really didn't want this guy's grave to ever be unearthed. I mean, nobody's ever should be. But Colin Ruthven. Born February 18th or February 16th. Hey, his birthday's coming up. 1834 to November 14th, 1914. And that is just an interesting looking mound of a grave. Alright, well, that's going to cut it for this video. To the Ford Cemetery. I hate to cut it short, but my fingers are getting frostbite, I imagine. It's cold. It's real cold. Thanks for joining me on this tour. This quick, frozen, cold. Took 2 tries to do it, but we got it done. Tour of Ford Cemetery. Here in Chatham, Kent. Actually, no, I do believe we are in Elgin County. Still in Elgin County, because there's a curve up the road, and that's where it changed to Chatham, Kent. Anyways, thanks for joining me, guys. Subscribe. Check out all the different playlists on my channel. You'll find something you enjoy, I guarantee it. It's random, but that's why it's random. Again, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe, hit like, and all that lovely stuff. See you soon. I gotta go thaw out. Bye.